when the Watergate program was actually broadcast, there was no sense that there had been this break in proceedings. And it was, the way it was edited, the prosecution of Nixon just folded seamlessly into the apology. And I thought it was important that the American people understand that there was a break in the proceedings and that Nixon had an opportunity to collect himself and to decide what he wanted to do, which gave us the apology. It has led to historians questioning whether the apology was sincere or whether it was just kind of constructed as a scenario between him and Jack Brennan, his major aide. Sort of, they thought, well, okay, well, what do I have to say to satisfy people here? So was the apology sincere or was it insincere? I personally believe it was absolutely sincere. He was broken by Frost. And what came out of his mouth in that second portion of the thing was sincere. But there are historians, including this presidential historian, Robert Dallek, who dispute that and think it was just a cocked-up, made-up deal. It didn't come from the heart at all. So that remains a kind of a question that hovers historically over those interviews. So I got in tremendous trouble with David Frost for revealing that break in proceedings. And the way that happened was that, I went back to my little farm in Chapel Hill, and as it got closer and closer to the interviews, my phone was ringing off the hook with people who wanted to talk to me about, what was coming. Ultimately, right before the program, David Frost was on the cover of Time magazine and Newsweek. And so the anticipation was huge for these things, and that's what led ultimately to the 50 million people who watched the Watergate program. And I thought that it was important that people know about this break in the proceedings. So with all of this pressure from the press for me to talk, I called a press conference in Chapel Hill thinking, well, it would just be the North Carolina press. People flew in from everywhere, Atlanta, for this press conference. And that's where I revealed that there'd been a break in the proceeding. And Frost regarded that as a betrayal, that he was broadcasting this seamless thing from the prosecution into the apology. And here was his aide revealing that, in fact, there were really two portions to the thing, and maybe the apology was insincere. And he was furious. So my little press conference became national news, and Frost wouldn't talk to me for 10 years. So that's the way it rolled out. That, I have no regrets whatever about doing that. I thought, given the historic nature of this thing, people needed to know how it happened.